I don't think it's a big surprise to most people that League of Legends content all feels very similar nowadays. This champion just got buffed. Come and watch me drop a bunch of kills. Here's the best champions for this patch, just like every other video on this channel. Hey, you guys like hearing funny noises being played over gameplay? I mean, if you just look up League of Legends in the YouTube search bar, you're bound to find mostly videos that are either edited gameplay, stream highlights, or actual guides that aren't, well, terrible. In fact, a few days ago, a fellow League of Legends content creator by the name of Pollypuff made a video talking about this exact same topic, where he goes into a very practical explanation of why League content not only feels similar, but why it also feels like there's less effort being put into videos than there used to be. For instance, back in the day, we had plenty of content creators in the League sphere making comedy videos, making high effort videos, and making things that were fresh and interesting to the point that most people making League content were at least somewhat different from the rest just by their content alone. But now, the majority of the top content creators and even smaller creators in the League sphere all create relatively similar content. So why is that? Pollypuff gives a great explanation that shows something that I believe has always been talked about but never really shown. He shows that a video that he put a great deal of effort into ended up underperforming, while one that he spent only a few hours on and just made a generic clickbait title and thumbnail actually ended up doing much better. While this isn't out of the ordinary, as the YouTube algorithm can be a strange and mysterious thing, what makes it apparent why we have this shift towards a certain style of content is that the effort it took to make both videos didn't correlate to the payout. In fact, it seems like lower effort content actually leads to a bigger payout. Now, this doesn't mean that you can just put out absolute low quality slop videos and expect to be rewarded with hundreds of thousands of subscribers, but it does lead to an interesting conclusion. As Pollypuff puts it, people who make high quality content at a quick pace will end up burning out. People who make high quality content at a slow pace run the risk of the videos they put out not being enough to pay rent if one underperforms. And therefore, faster uploaded but lower quality content wins out in the long run. Slap a nice clickbaity title and thumbnail that makes people's brains go, "Ooh, I wonder how this one's gonna be different from the 1,000 other one-shot build videos," and you have the most successful style of League of Legends content. But why? I think Pollypuff's explanation is a great one for why a lot of people who used to make League content either quit making content altogether or stopped making things for League exclusively, but I'm not sure it's the reason why the current trend of League content is so popular. In other words, yes, burnout and not being able to pay your bills are perfectly good reasons to not continue making League content in general, or switching up the style of content that you put out. But I don't think it's the reason why we see the current trend of League content dominating the way that it is. In fact, I think the reason why stream highlights and edited gameplay videos are so dominant nowadays is because of personality. Think about the top League of Legends content creators that mostly post edited gameplay videos. People like Dante's, Thrutat, Baus, Tobias Fate, Azap, Tyler1, and many others. While each of them are very good players, most of them being in Challenger to this day, each one of them also has an incredibly unique and likable personality. Sure, while we enjoy seeing Tyler1 dominate other players, we also enjoy seeing him rage and yell at the top of his lungs or saying, "Don't put down," or whatever other funny thing he does on camera. Dante's might make some of the most downright abhorrent and autistic takes that exist, but when it comes time to be serious, he can switch on a dime and be ready to talk about more serious topics. And if you notice, the majority of people who are at the top of the League of Legends content creation sphere are all primarily streamers, meaning that personality plays an incredibly big role to them, because if they can't make people be entertained or feel a connection to the person behind the screen, then they won't be successful. And when people watch stream highlights like Synapse, I would argue that they're just as interested in seeing who made it onto the highlight reel to see if their favorite personality made it there as they are interested in seeing high tier plays. And personality being a large factor into what audiences nowadays, not just in the League sphere, want to watch is actually a reason why some channels have taken off the way they have. Let's look at Sam Solik for a second. He's a bodybuilder content creator, and most of his videos are ones that a majority of people would consider to be low effort and low quality content. They're long videos with minimal cuts and aren't necessarily something that would take days on end to produce. In fact, one of Sam's most recent videos as of the time of recording has over 250,000 views, and the first 9 minutes of this 32-minute long video are Sam driving in his car to the gym. uninterrupted. Videos like this, while they aren't necessarily as hard to produce as say something like Maxor's videos, they're able to show off a content creator's personality in a way that allows them to connect the most with their audience. And this showing off of personality over highly edited and amazing quality videos has definitely infected the League of Legends content creation sphere. So much so that I'd argue this is part of the reason that lower effort videos are becoming such a normal thing. As Pollypuff said, if you make high quality content too fast, you'll end up burning out. If you make high quality content too slow, you end up risking not being able to pay your bills. However, if you make low quality content at a fast pace, you get our current landscape for not only League, but the YouTube sphere in general. However, going back to what I said earlier, in order for low quality content to be the norm, it can't just be slop. There's so many people in the League sphere doing exactly what the top content creators are doing right now, but they have no chance at actually becoming successful in what they're doing because they either don't have a unique personality or they don't show off that personality that they have. For everyone who's still watching, think about the times that you've gone to look at a smaller streamer, for instance. How many times did they either not interact with chat, or even if chat wasn't going, they were just completely silent? How many times did you feel like you were just watching a replay of someone playing the game rather than watching someone live streaming the game? And this, in my opinion, is why we see low quality but very quickly uploaded videos being the dominant force in the League content sphere, because it allows creators to show off their unique personalities that people resonate with while not having the problems of potentially burning out incredibly quickly or needing to hope that the algorithm doesn't mess them up and say, hey, you can't afford rent this month. And trust me when I say that as someone who mostly posts scripted comedy videos and design analysis videos and only really has one straight gameplay video since I started doing YouTube seriously. Obviously, I'm not doing this as a full-time job, but you know what I mean. It can be incredibly disheartening to see a video that you put days of your life into perform so poorly, while a video you didn't spend any time at all on does incredibly well. Taking a look at some of the most popular videos on my channel, and while all of my terrible guides and the Lethal Company versus Content Warning video are there in the top 10, which are videos I put a tremendous amount of effort into, you also see videos like what your League of Legends rank says about you, which literally, from the thought of the video to recording to editing and to uploading took me 3 hours. 3 hours, my fourth most successful video. In fact, one of my most popular videos is just a compilation of 5 other videos that I made. Something where the biggest time sink was just uploading it because it was a larger file is one of my most popular videos. Compare that to both honest truths about Skarner, pre-rework and post-rework, 2 videos that I would say are some of my best honest truths that I spent days working on, and they perform absolutely terribly in comparison. Like, I know Skarner isn't that popular of a champ, but really? However, I think we also need to acknowledge that there are people out there putting out high quality content, and while some of it still is gameplay videos, they make them a lot more entertaining than others. You have people like Darkmane, who is one of the biggest League of Legends content creators on YouTube and still building AP on random champions, and proves that his personality and his style of comedy matters so much more than just being a high rank. Speaking of rank, you have Chilling Smite, whose gameplay videos are beautifully edited so well that people will watch this man struggle in gold for over 1,000 games. You have Nicky Boy and TB Skyen, who post insightful design videos, and Nicky Boy especially still reminds me oftentimes of the funny League videos that a lot of people have nostalgia for. You have Necrit, who is still posting about the League lore and news for the game, and speaking of news, you have both Rival and Risku who report on what is going on in the game and the community to keep people informed. You have Dumbs doing whatever the fuck this is. It's fun though. Sure, you also have 20 different channels that just post guides and tier lists, but that's needed because League is a very complicated game. But if you really look at it, there's plenty of channels out there that may not be uploading the highest upper echelons of Maxor type content imaginable, but they're making high quality videos nonetheless. However, if you're looking for high quality content that's not just gameplay, I suggest going to check out my terrible guides to League of Legends. I'm sure they'll give you a great laugh and that you'll come out knowing less about the game than before.